Defense, Alhaji Muhammadu Badaru Abubakar, CFR MNI, that he is so concerned, so worried, he is so bothered about the plight of veterans, as well as the Chief of Defense Staff, General Siji Musa, is very passionate about the welfare and the well-being of our veterans. And therefore, this Ministry of Defense Ministerial Committee on Welfare of the Veterans is set up by the Honorable Minister of Defense as a standing committee to liaise between veterans and the government, the ministry. And by the special grace of God, like I said, the Minister Badaru Abubakar and his Minister of State and the CDS are listening, are very worried, are very concerned about the plight, our plight, and they are very willing to make sure that whatever belongs to us get to us at the right time. This, like they used to say, you can take this my word to the bank. When they say you can take my word to the bank, it means it is an assured statement. It's something that is very assuring. And after setting up of that committee, like you are aware, we went to work. We have gone round to see whoever that we needed to see to discuss about our problems, to see how our problems can be solved. The Honourable Minister directed that we should come up with a template of all the challenges of veterans. As far as we know, whatever that is a problem of a veteran, a retired military veteran or armed forces veteran, we should put it in writing as a recommendation. And we come up with every aspect of the problem of veteran that we know. A medically boarded veteran there complained of short payments. I can assure you that that case is part of our recommendation of not only short payment of medically boarded veterans, but we went further to complain on those veterans that served during the Civil War on the side of Nigeria that were not paid, that were not taken into consideration. During the former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, he took into cognizance veterans that fought on the part of Biafra, and they were paid gratuity and pension. Arrears of gratuity was paid to them and pension. So we took up this very case on those that fought on the part of Nigeria that were not taken into consideration the way those that fought on the part of veterans Biafra was taken. And I can assure you right now, the minister has already submitted that document to the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And interestingly, the president himself is so passionate about the issue of veterans. He has approved every of our requests that was forwarded to him. The minister took it along with the CDS, or rather the two ministers, Minister of State Badaru Abubakar and the Minister of State Matole, and then the Chief of Defense Staff. And this is were approved. What they are working towards right now is our SDA, to ensure that, like the minister said and the Chief of Defense Staff, they do not want our SDAs splitted. They are working towards ensuring that our SDA, is paid in bulk, so that it will be beneficial to us. At worst situation, under a worst scenario, because of financial challenges that Nigeria is facing, that is the reason why it will now be breaking into two. Pay us one bit, then the second bit. Not only that, the template that was used to pay the subsequent ones, was not the actual template that needed to be used. So the minister said we should come up with a template that truly is supposed to be the one that it needed to be paid. So we come up with a template that will be so beneficial to every veteran. The one that was used now is not the one that was used before. So, but then there must be additional funds, because when you come up with that template, the money now grew to a certain amount. We are lobbying the legislators. They also said we are the ones that are the veterans. We are the ones that are having this challenge. So we should also go to the Senate and the House of Reps to speak to the chairman, Senate Committee on Defense and Armed Forces Veterans, and House of Reps Committee on Defense and Armed Forces Veterans, as well as the Senate President and the Speaker. These are what we have been doing to ensure that when the supplementary bill comes to them, it will have an easy passage, because we have complained, we have told them our problems and the problems of the veterans. And they know too well that you and I and other of our colleagues, about 97,000 of us, were the ones that fought and keep this country together. What they are enjoying today, they are enjoying it because of our sweat. We have put in our lives. Some of us are dead long ago. Some of us are sick, are on the bed. Some are on wheelchairs. You know, so we are entitled. All after that, the president magnanimously approved palliative for us. We know that before now, we have never been involved in anything that is federal government. The only thing that is given to us is our monthly pension, and then the issue of SDA. But the president magnanimously approved based on the request of the Minister of Defense and the CDS. Palliative has been approved. Yes, there are a little challenges on the issue of palliatives, but I can assure us that that has been addressed. So any moment, we'll hear a drop of this palliative. And not only that the palliative will be coming, because the arrangement was, it's going to be for 3 months and it will be monthly. What the minister and the CDS are doing is to ensure that it is not just going to be monthly, but we get it at once so that it will be reasonable and useful for us. So you see, here, apart from also that, there are issues, like I said, on medical, the issue on our children's education, there's issue that we raise on widows, and the issue on orphans. There are also issue on what we call replacement. We had to complain that, look, we are old. Okay, me, I'm a little bit young and strong, but you here, most of you can hardly walk, even to walk on the street. So we will put up a request when it comes to recruitment automatically before any other person. So if any of your children applied, put the document through our chairman, the state chairman, so that he will communicate it to us and we'll send it to the minister direct and CDS. And by the special grace of God, the children of veterans, once qualified, will be considered first before any other one. These are part of the work the committee has been doing. So, but what is required is your understanding, cooperation, and the prayers. Because if we understand that the committee is working in the interest of veterans, and also as well as supporting the government, the minister, the 2 ministers, the chief of defense staff, the service chiefs, it will be easy for them to be able to work towards the president. And like I said, the president is a listening president, most especially on the plight of veterans. He is willing. This is why he approved palliative. And this palliative will come in different forms. He said whatever any Nigerian will get in the name of palliative, then a veteran is more entitled than any other person. So we should be considered first. Once there's any policy that says assist Nigerians with so thing, then the veterans should be put into consideration first before other Nigerians. So you see, because of all these things, we need to support the government. We need to cooperate with the ministers, the chief of defense staff, and the service chiefs, so that they will find the job easy for us to also benefit. If you listen, then what more of a private soldier? So this is a 4-star general, a sitting chief of defense staff that is public on television. I'm mentioning this thing. In the history of this country, it has never happened. This is the first time such a person of highest authority as far as the armed forces is concerned will come out and be saying such a thing, and fearlessly and honestly, sincerely, passionately saying it, because he want the issue to be addressed. If we have this kind of person as CDS, we have the likes of Badaru and Matewele as minister, happy we should be praying for them because they mean well for us. This same committee, the minister directed us that we should make a recommendation of how much we think a retired private soldier is supposed to be taking apart from what we are taking now as pension. He said we should make a recommendation. And believe me, we make a strong recommendation to the minister. We took a copy to the chief of defense staff and all the service chiefs. And when the chief of defense staff saw it, he was so happy. I'm not going to mention how much it is, but I can guarantee you it's something very, 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 very reasonable. And if by the grace of God, it is the veterans that are initiating, based on a committee set up by the Honourable Minister of Defense, that they are recommending, and he just adopted what we put without reduction or nothing. He said this thing will go to the president. If the president thinks what we said is too much, then let him reduce it by himself. But he, as CDS or the minister, they said they are not reducing one kobo out of our recommendation. So we have never had it so good as far as veterans is concerned in Nigeria that we're having under this administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and under the able leadership of the Minister of Defense, Badaru Abubakar, his deputy, Minister Matawale, and the Chief of Defense Staff. Believe me, I've never seen people that are so passionate, so worried. You know, when the CDS was discussing with me, I was looking at his face. When we were having in one of our meetings, I was looking at his face. The man was talking as if he's going to cry. He's so worried. He's very concerned. So I think what we should do as body of veterans is to support these people and pray for them. But I can guarantee us that something good is on its way, and it's going to be shortly by the grace of God.
The MINAF have been doing to ensure that we are comfortable.